Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Kartmaster's British Kart Grand Prix, and it's race 2. Senior Rotax about to make its way out into the circuit. Let's take you through the starting lineup then for this one. Starting on pole position, the GP plate, Kai Hunter on his charge to defend his title. Starts on that pole position spot with Tom Adams alongside. Lewis Gilbert and Lucas Ellingham, they go from row 2. Jack Lilly and George Donald, they round out the top 6 on row number 3. Row number 4 sees Harry Linden and Austin Lee from Lachlan Robinson, and Bradley Barrett on row 5 rounding out the top 10. Kyrie Lutz and Jamie Briley round out the top 6 rows on that one. Leon Henderson and Morgan Porter, they go from row 7 from Josh Price and Ben Folland. Ollie Goodyear and Teddy Pritchard-Williams round out row number 9. Guy Cunnington and James Lingard then round out the top 20 on row number 10 from Sam Gornall and Miles Barthorpe on row 11. Everett Anagostias and George Hunter go from row 12. James Swindells and Aidan Evans on row 13. Craig Stevens and Sam Light on row 14 with Nicole Sutherland and Danny Shields rounding out the top 30 on row 15. Jack Doyle and Christopher Harris. Grid. Couple of karts popping up on my screen that have not left the dummy grid. Nicole Sutherland, one of them. Bradley Barrett, the other. Sodi and Tooley not having one of their drivers each leaving the pit lane. Hopefully they are okay and we will see them out. It's just popped up that Nicole Sutherland has left the grid. Just Bradley Barrett, not the one clocking up at the moment. There you can see the Trent Faddy Cup marshals there, making sure the drivers slow it right down. Henry, back in the commentary box for this one. This is going to be a good one. Seniors this time around. We saw a very mature drive from the juniors.
Yes.
Are we going to see the same from the seniors?
I hope. I hope so.
Fingers crossed.
Bradley Barrett not out there, like you said. The Sodi Vitesse entered drive the 2017 Junior Rotax GP plate winner. Now, 10 minutes plus 1 lap. The senior Rotax drivers, aged 16 years and above. They come into Tramline's Kai Hunter, the defending and reigning champion, and Tom Adams for Thule Motorsports, a triple E plate holder. Someone goes spinning at the back there, but we're off and racing into turn number 1. Now, this is where the drivers have got to hold their breath through the Bruno Ferrari S's underneath the bridge. Looking down, they all exit the bridge cleanly out onto Uncle Tyrone's banking.
Two very different racing lines there. A lot of drivers tucking to the inside, a lot of drivers tucking to the outside. One of the strawberry carts going a little wide there on the outside through the bridge. Marshall's running yellow flags out through the top section. I can see there is a driver out of his cart and walking away. Hopefully he's okay. But certainly his race is over. But interesting start as someone straight on. It's the 89 going straight on into the barrier. That's an absolute disaster. And, well, who is that?
That's Aidan Evans from the Cato Motorsport team. Cato Adams, a former champion here at Kartmaster. His driver, I got a feeling it's Lachlan Robinson who is out on the banking, the number 26 KR Sport driver. Yep, he's standing by the marshal post. That is not a great start to Kartmasters for Lockie. Into the Mike Wilson complex. There's the number 6 of Sam Gornall. Good to see Sam back in the kart, the driver from Preston. Not see him in the British Championship much this year, but we crossed the line. It's Hunter from the Diamond of Dalry, Scotland's Lewis Gilbert. Then it's Adams, Lucas Ellingham, Harry Linden, the driver from Dinas Powys in South Wales, in kart number 12. Morgan Porter, a double champion, and there is the number 55. That's Ollie Goodyear on the CRG kart out. Well, he's back in the race. He had a spin, and but again, this is not crashing. This is drivers just sliding off in the conditions, because this is not what the drivers want. They think if the conditions are like this, their wet tyres are going to be absolutely shredded.
Yes, they really will be. They've got to be so careful there. And that dry line is still starting to eke its way through. I'm looking out. I'm not seeing brollies up in the air, so I don't think it's raining.
No,
but again, it's just the spray. There is so much spray out there. It is kicking up, and it's just keeping the track just that little bit wet at the moment. The air temperature is still relatively cool, so drivers are really having to struggle with these conditions. We might have wet conditions for quite some time in this one as they are continuing to battle away here. Guy Cunnington under pressure.
There's not much rain. There's not much wind.
No.
When the wind starts blowing, then the track dries a lot quicker. But it's mild. The temperatures are quite mild, but there's no wind. Now there is the number 227. That is Bradley Barrett. So he is out there.
He is out on track.
He was obviously just maybe he just didn't fuck up. Maybe he started at the back. Where is Bradley running? Bradley is up into 12th position now. As we look at the number 17, Tom Adams. Great to see so many drivers, because of course this is PF International doesn't run gearbox karting.
No.
It only runs direct drive. So lots of drivers, Morgan Porter, Bradley Barrett, we've got Tom Adams, Josh Price, drivers that normally race in KZ2 gearbox, coming back into direct drive karting for this event. So there's Lucas Ellingham giving Tom Adams a signal. Adams, who I think is currently second in the British KZ2 gearbox championship class. This is his first race in a Rotax in 2 and a bit years, I believe. He's chasing the Jack Dex Racing number 99 of Lucas Ellingham, to give him his full title, of Gorefield's Lucas Ellingham. As we watch, this is the battle for 5th or 6th position. No, it's for 4th. It's actually now for 3rd position. So Hunter leads by 1.7 seconds over Gilbert. Guy Cunnington from 19th up into the top 10. Owner-driver now, Guy Cunnington. Austin Lee, driver from Portland, Oregon, now based in Germany, running in 11th position. A little bit further back, best privateer in this race is James Lingard in 15th position. There is the number 46 of Hunter Motorsports, Morgan Porter, and a big hello to everyone at Moore Racing, the team that Morgan drives for in gearbox. There's number 3 kart of Guy Cunnington going through. Side by side, that's making a move. That was the number 81 of Ben Folland, passing the 72 of Austin Lee, going into the... And just look at the crossovers on the banking, Anthony.
Yeah, that is Bradley Barrett, I think, making those moves. He's sweeping right to the outside there and just cutting it back in. It looks so much more violent and faster through the corner. But as you can see, yes, every time he loses that position, he gains a little bit more as he goes side by side there with the 35. Absolutely tooth and nail.
He overcooked it going into hairpin number 1, though, was Bradley, and he almost got it slowed. And you could see that's when you lock the brakes, you've got to be so sensitive on the braking. You've got to be so sensitive on the braking. If you brake too hard, the rear tyres just lock up, and then it's like an ice skating rink. And then car control comes in. There's the 81 of Folland and the 3 of Cunnington. Ben Folland for the Thule Motorsport team from Stafford. Guy Cunnington from Trowbridge. And there's a move. That's Austin Lee. Oh, and he catches the nose as he goes through. Guy Cunnington tried the crossover. And again, if you're new to karting, the nose cones on these karts all have a bracket holding them in place. That bracket is designed, if the nose cone comes into contact at any rate of knots with anything else, the bracket doesn't break, it just drops.
Yeah.
And if you get if you've got a nose cone bracket drop, that's a 5-second penalty at the end of the race, unappealable.
Yeah, no, you can't defend that one. You can try your level best, but it will just be a flat no from anyone. So, yeah, you can't really do anything from that one. Certainly, though, very interesting development on this one. And certainly that dry line is really starting to kick in down that back straight now in towards hairpin number 1. Now, this is the interesting spot. Drivers are going to have to be careful. If the track does start to fully dry, they've got to get these wet tyres off that part of the track. Because if they start to keep using it, the tyres will just shred, eat themselves apart. And tomorrow is another very wet day. They've got to look after these wets.
Yes, they do. So you'll start seeing, if you're wondering, you start drivers maybe deviating from the normal line, trying to find the standing water. That is simply drivers trying to just cool the wet tyres.
Yeah.
They're just trying to cool those wet tyres.
Well,
but yeah, you'll see. So at the moment, we're not seeing that. There's number 39. That's the XL Motorsport driver, James Swindells from the UAE. XL Motorsport, they brought their entire team, awning, kart, chassis, everything and all, over from Dubai. Oh, a bit of a wheel-to-wheel sort of rubbery there between the 83 of Nicole Sutherland and the number 39 of James Swindells. We go through the pack. So Nicole Sutherland, she's the best placed young lady in the race at the moment. Where's Nicole? She's 23rd at the minute. I've got to say, 33 drivers started this race. We lost Lachlan Robinson on the opening lap, but all other drivers still running. As the number 15 kart of Sam Light, privateer entry and that very distinctive blue, white and red liveried machine coming out. He's under pressure from the number 225 car. That's Danny Shields. Danny Shields makes the move, and then they both lose out to Nicole Sutherland. So Nicole Sutherland picks up 2 for 1 special offer.
Yep, nicely there, but then just getting squeezed off the track. Not what you want to see, but into hairpin number 2 there. Sam Light not getting the corner or the apex at all, and just getting squeezed there, battling so fiercely in this group. He's got Miles Barthorpe right on his rear bumper now, as he now sends it back down the inside of the 225 of Danny Shields and gets that done. Side by side at the front there, that's Guy Cunnington.
Yep,
going
making
for the move.
And Guy has now gained, that should be up into 9th position, so he's gained 10 places. Ex-British touring car star Josh Price is still there in 15th, running as a privateer. As comments keep coming in, Thomas Fleming, doubt it's going to dry anytime soon, to worry about driving on the wetter parts. Well, you have to just see, now Nicole Sutherland is setting about passing 225 Danny Shields. This is for 24th position. You're looking at the number 15 of Light, then Shields the next car in line, and Sutherland is just behind. Then you've got Ollie Goodyear, Miles Barthorpe, Craig Stephen, and Ava and Anna. Right, okay, Anthony, here we go. Commentary lesson number 101, how to pronounce Ava Anagnostiatis is surname. And I can almost feel Alice Powell, who's watching Anna, bearing daggers at me for mispronouncing her driver's surname. But Anna, Australian driver, so there's from Glen Huntley in Australia. And yes, she is Ava in her Kartmaster debut, running in 29th position. There's the number 36 on our screen, James Lingard, leading privateer. He is in 12th position. We got 30 seconds to go. Teddy Pritchard-Williams goes through. Super Ted, we spoke to Super Ted in the paddock show last night, managed to roll out of his cart yesterday,
he
Anthony.
did, yeah.
So his mechanic has been working overtime, and Teddy is up from 18th on the grid to 13th.
Yes, indeed. Certainly making his way through the field, so keep a very close eye on the entire field. Biggest mover, though, Jude Fernand, like you probably already said, number 53 there in 20th place as well. So certainly big moves being made through this field. Last 11 seconds of this race, and again, it's been fairly calm. That's understandable. The conditions are tricky, and it's the first race of the weekend. It's a long weekend. Remember, you only get the one chassis or two chassis, or you get one chassis. You can apply for a spare if it's deemed
if the wagon is bent, then you can apply for a new wagon.
Yep, and then you've only got 2 engines as well. So looking after your car over the course of this weekend is pretty vital, and drivers do not want to absolutely full send on the first race.
No. Well, some of them, if you're starting near the back of the grid, you know you've got 4 heat races over 2 days to get into the top 30 in points. In senior Rotax, with 54 entries, that's critical. So some of the drivers starting at near the back, they've needed to give it a bit of full send, because they've got to get up the order as the last lap board goes out. And I've got to say, Nibbers is on the live chat saying we need to start playing a nose cone penalty sweepstake. How many nose cones do you think there'll be at the end of this race? Well, at the end of Kartmasters, there'll be many, many nose cones by the end of the weekend. There's the GP plate, though. There's one driver that's not going to get a nose cone penalty. Why? Because all the nose of that kart has seen all race is clean track. And Kai Hunter comes out to the Fullerton S's. Remy Gilbert's made an error. Online. He's asked Tom Fleming, did you ever race in real life, or did you just do iRacing? Has Tom Fleming ever raced in real life? Dear.
No, he hasn't.
No. Tom, owner of the naughtiest cutback PF has ever seen last year's Grand Finals. But here we go. Out the final corner, Kai Hunter takes the win. Lewis Gilbert for the Craft Motorsport team comes home in 2nd position. Lucas Ellingham for Jack Dex Racing comes home in 3rd. And now Tom Adams finishes 4th, with Morgan Porter running at the top 5. Harry Linden crossed the line in 6th position. Kai Rillarts from Belgium finishes in 7th. Kai on the podium, 4th in last year's Rotax Grand Finals in this class.
There are your provisional race results at the end of Senior Rotax race number 2, Heat 1 for the class. Kai Hunter but Dan Holland Racing takes the win after 9 laps in those tricky conditions. 3.9 seconds clear. We are seeing these dominant drives, Henry, coming in these conditions, and both of them so far have both come from Dan Holland Racing.
Yeah, but both happen to come from the fact that the drivers started on the front row. Now, if you get a good start in these conditions on the front row, you get away and you can cleanly, just pick your lines. You haven't got to worry about drivers in front of you. You can see where you're going. Here's a look at the rundown of the remaining finishers. Some of the gaps there you can see, separated by 53 seconds. I have to say, if you're watching Kartmaster full time, on Sunday, when it's dry, you're going to see the top 26, top 27 drivers in some races separated by less than 10 seconds, let alone 50 seconds. There we go.